I pledged in Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. I chose Alpha Kappa Alpha because it is the first African American sorority. I also chose Alpha Kappa Alpha because I like what it stands for, which is women of high ethical and moral standards. And I have a family background of AKA women. 8 women that has high ethical and moral standards. And also the group does a lot of community service. We do a lot of work with education. We mentor a lot of young girls to bring them up through society. We do breast cancer awareness. We do a lot with the medical, with different medical issues. We do a lot with helping and volunteering with people that are less fortunate. So there's a lot of community activism within the sorority. Yes, there's actually 2 local chapters. We have Gamma Eta Omega, which is on Southern University's campus, and we also have Nu Gamma Omega, which is mine. The places that I volunteered, a part of the sorority was when we volunteered to clean up an elderly lady's house, and we cleaned the inside and out. We painted it, we cleaned up the yard, and it was pretty much an all-day thing, but it was really rewarding. I also like to volunteer. I pretty much like to do anything that involves children or students, because I don't like to call my students children because they're a little older than that. But anything dealing with children and or students, I'd love to volunteer for. The last thing I did was, last 2 things I did was I volunteered for my son's football team because they didn't have anyone to really spearhead everything, like as far as the gate, the concessions, the uniforms. So I really took that role on by myself, I was not getting paid, so that's why I call it volunteer. But it was rewarding because they were really, really appreciative. They gave me like a really nice gift at the end of football season that I wasn't expecting, so that was good. And I helped the last thing I did was help this guy. He did not have a high school diploma and he needed his GED, so I volunteered and tutored him for like 4 months, and he got his GED. And now he's going to BRCC, so that was a really cool thing that I did. Oh, I feel very positive about the goals. I even think that I went above the goals that I achieved as far as volunteerism is concerned. We meet once a month, and of course we have all different types of activities throughout the year that we can do, that we can volunteer for. So that's a continuous, ongoing thing. As far as my son, he doesn't play middle school anymore. He's high school, and that's a little bit more. It's a little bit more put together than middle school. So I don't really volunteer with that anymore. But I'm always open to volunteer with students. If they need help with anything, I'm always willing to help them. Just a sense of wanting to help people, just seeing people in need and wanting to help them. I don't really have dislikes about being involved with different community projects. I actually like it because it gives you a chance to meet new people, see the needs that are out there, and it also gives you ideas about setting up volunteerism for your own students and getting them involved in things. Because one that I plan to do this year for my students is Habitat for Humanity. So we're waiting on a representative right now at this point to call me back to give me some ideas about helping out, some ideas about dates when we can come out and work with Habitat for Humanity. Change one major problem within the community. I think it would probably be the need for people to ask for help, because a lot of people don't want to ask for help, or they don't want help because they feel like
they shouldn't ask.
Yeah, and they feel beneath people when you come out and help them. But I feel that if there's a need and you need help with it, then you should ask, because there are people out there to help you, but if they don't know about it, they're not going to come out. So That's one thing. And I also think that another thing in the community, I think people should be a little bit more supportive of education. Because I feel like with the problems that are going on in the schools right now, and it's just not a Scholarville problem, it's pretty much an everywhere problem, because all of my colleagues that I talk to are going through the same issues that we have at Scholarville. Of course, we're going to have them on a much larger level because we have more students. But I think that people really need to get involved with educating younger people, because right now they just wilding out and they don't have a clue about anything. You know, they just out there and they just come to school because that's the thing to do, and they're not really serious about education. So I just think that people need to really invest into younger people and showing them, you know, I just think showing them what's right and what's wrong, because we take for granted that they know when they really don't know.